So I thought I'd do a video on the hole in the road. Now you can see the markings of where it probably was, with a circle on the actual ground, and on the other side you can see a sort of raised level of steps. So this area was originally the hole in the road. It was a roundabout and cars could go all the way around it, coming up from Commercial Street, behind me up High Street, over there to Arundel Gate, and down there to Angel Street. The idea was to keep the pedestrian traffic away from the car traffic, but it was also a great concept because if it was raining in Sheffield you could get from the bus station up into Sheffield without actually getting wet. Now some of the shops could be accessed from the basement of the hole in the road, and other shops were actually in the hole in the road. I think there was something like 50 odd shops in the hole in the road that didn't even appear above ground. Over here there was some sort of electronics shop I can remember. I remember Fad's wallpaper shop. Then across here, that was Burton's Corner that got bombed in the war, became Peter Robinson's. Could access that from the hole in the road as well as from the surface. And then if you go down here to where this hotel is now, Easy Hotel, that was C&A. Same again, C&A had an entranceway in from the hole in the road in the basement. So noisy around here. Across here we've got the Banker's Draft. Now that was Midland Bank. I've come up from the hole in the road into that in the past. And I'm just going to swizzle around. We've got once what was called Rackham's. Now there was a couple of escalators from the hole in the road into Rackham's, and at Christmas they'd be really well decorated. So we're now facing up High Street, and I thought the hole in the road went further up, but it didn't. It actually went to where the NatWest building is there, and then there was a couple of escalators coming out of the ground, one up and one down. I thought it went right up to where you can see the white building, but that was actually just an underpass between one side of High Street and the other. Now I'm not 100% sure whether there was an escalator on that side and also on that side. I can't remember. So there could have been an escalator on that side as well as on that side, but I'm 100% certain there was an escalator on that side. And then, like I said, if you got further up, there's an underpass between there and there. And now if you go down here to Castle House, which is the old B&C co-op, there was connections in the basement of Castle House. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to walk down to Castle House and see if you can spot where the actual tunnels were into the hole in the road there, but I think they filled in where you could actually get in the hole in the road. So I'm going to pop down now to the B&C and catch up with you down there. So I'm now on Angel Street, and this store was Cockaine's originally, got bombed in the war and rebuilt as a modern store. Then it became Schofield's during the 1970s, and then up to the last few years at the start of lockdown it was Argus, and it looks like it's completely dead now. But somewhere in here there was an entranceway into the hole in the road. I'm not sure if it was there, just there, or no, that's the doorway to Argus, but somewhere around here there's an entranceway in to the hole in the road, and there'd be a basement part of the shop as well. So I'm not sure if that was where the original entranceway was into the hole in the road. I can't remember. It's that long ago, but I get a feeling it could have been. And then on the other side at Castle House there was another entranceway into the hole in the road, and I think it was probably about there. Could be wrong, just move around. But they've changed these buildings around that much. But I know I used to come from Sheffield Wednesday's football ground, and somewhere around here I used to go into the hole in the road and then go down to Pond Street. So I'm now going to nip down to the C&A bit and see if I can spot anything down there. So I'm now down the side of C&A and I'm trying to work out where was the connection between the hole in the road and C&A, because somewhere in the ground I'm sure you'd have access to the hole in the road from here. But the idea was to keep cars and people separate, and it also allowed us to keep dry. But inside the hole in the road there was a fish tank. Every Christmas there was a Christmas tree in it, and during the summer all around the top of the hole in the road there were flower pots and things like that, and inside the hole in the road as well. So it was kept really nice. The only problem is there was an element of people in there, homeless or people that drank a lot, so at night and things like that wasn't so nice. But I'm sure that a new floor in it, mosaic tiles on the walls and a security system, or even locking it off at 6 o'clock at night, it's still been a fantastic asset. Now they say that another reason they shut the hole in the road down was because they were bringing the Supertram through. Well, I've seen pictures from the 1970s where they were going to have a monorail, and they were putting the monorail straight over the top of the hole in the road, so that's not really an excuse. I just think Sheffield City Council get bored with things after a while and just trash them and start again. But I think the hole in the road concept was really good, and you can see the traffic now. It's a nightmare getting across these roads. So if they got rid of it because of the traffic, well, the traffic's never been worse. The whole area is a mess, if you know what I mean. It always used to look really simple and you knew where you were, but this is just a hodgepodge of all sorts of different things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop into Pond Street and show you how I believe we used to access it from Pond Street, where I'm lost how it came into the hole in the road. So I'm hoping other people will point it out, but I'm sure there were other points to get into the hole in the road. Could have been even one just here. But like I said, I'm going to go into Pond Street, and then I'm going to come up where I think they were, where the escalators were, and show you how I'd probably get into the hole in the road from there. So I'm near the Top Rank Suite, or the big nightclub. I think it was supposed to be the biggest nightclub in Europe when it was on the go. And I'm sure this was part of the hole in the road system here, where you can see this. At the moment it's just an underpass, but I'm absolutely sure that we must have accessed it from somewhere like that. In fact, I'll just show it you. I'm sure that took you into the hole in the road system. But in a minute I'm going to come to where the escalators were in Pond Street and show you that bit, and I'm sure I'd like people to fill in the grey bits for me where how that accessed the hole in the road. I'm at absolutely deserted Pond Street, as you can see, and where you can see that corner bit, Sheffield Interchange. I'm sure there was a walkway up from there across to up there. I'll just get my bearings right. Flat street up here, big new flat development for students here. But I'm absolutely sure there was sort of a bridge crossing from just there, up escalators to here. These steps weren't in, I'm going to go up them though. But once you came across from the bus station over the viaduct, I'm sure there was escalators just here as well. But these are steps now. And I'm sure we've passed, if I'm right, the city centre. Used to be some like city centre, I think 1, 2 and 3 or something. But things have changed so much, I'm not sure exactly where the lifts were, but I remember there were 1, 2, well probably 2 or 3 lifts to get from Pond Street into the hole in the road. But when I get up here, I don't know where the hole in the road was. Over here you have the Odeon Cinema, which was the Fiesta nightclub. It's been transformed into cinemas. And then over there you've got the top rank suite. Steely's, Roxy's. But like I say, I'm absolutely not sure from here how we got into the hole in the road. So I'm sure you didn't come out of the ground until you was in the hole in the road. So can anybody put my mind to rest on this? The one thing is, with the hole in the road, you could access some shops from the basement, and they had a top shop as well above it. But other shops were actually completely within the basement. It was the old market area, well, marketplace in Sheffield. So there's about 50 shops underground as well. And this road, Arundel Gate, didn't exist as such in the 1960s. They put a dual carriageway through in either direction, and I don't understand the road structure along here. I mean, you've got Norfolk Street up here, if I just zoom in on that. So I don't know if Norfolk Street just went straight down to Marketplace, where the roundabout and the hole in the road was originally, or whether any other little roads exist around here as well. But this road was bulldozed through in the 60s. So that's just a quick tour of the hole in the road, and I hope you can fill in blanks for me, because my memory is at a loss with some of this.